So your game is over and hopefully you won. What do you do next before you leave the park? Get the fields ready. What I'm going to describe today is some basic maintenance that needs to take place after every game at every field. Here at the ballpark complex, we have several holes in our fields from play, mostly at the pitcher's mound and in the batter's box. If you do these simple steps after every game, the holes will stay filled up, and after a hard rain, these fields will be playable faster. At the complex, we have these simple tools in every shed. A regular rake, field rake, shovel, tamp, and of course, field mix in the wheelbarrow. There also is watering cans with water in there to properly address the field. What we're going to do now is take a look at the left-handed batter's box of this field. Play has recently finished. As you can tell by placing this here on the side, there are two distinct holes where the batter was, as well as where your catcher and umpire are. The proper way to fix this area is first to remove all of the loose material on the ground. As you can see, as I'm dragging the blunt edge of this shovel back and forth, there's several areas that are not even being cleaned. That's because of the indentation. So what you really need to do is get in there and move the loose material away. The new mix will not adhere to the ground with the loose material in there. Again, you can see where the catcher stands, a lot of loose material. Now that all the loose material is removed away from the holes, take your watering can and you just want a little bit of water in the holes. This will help the new mix adhere to the existing. Again, a little bit of water. Too much water is just going to make a mud pit. Next thing you do, you take your field mix. After your field mix is down, take the smaller rake, get it somewhat level. Break up some clumps. Again, you're working it in to where the holes were. After you get that initial mix in place, you take the tamp and tamp that mix into place. Once that's done, I like to take the field rake and simply rake over the area. And get a nice, smooth, level surface. Again, by doing this, you will tell if you still have some low spots. At this point, it looks pretty good. Take your watering can again. Sprinkle the area that you just repaired. Now you go back and take your field rake once again, and you can move that loose dirt in that you put away last time as a top coat. And there you have it, a repaired batter's box for the next game. The next part of field maintenance, which should take place after every game, especially when there's a game after you, is to drag the infield. We have these drag mats here that are really easy to use, and it's even a great job to get your players involved after the game. To use the drag mats, lay them down on the field and just walk. You see it done in Major League parks. It puts a nice even finish across the entire field. Go ahead and walk all your baselines and all your infield. There's multiple mats, multiple people could do it, and it gets done really quick. One thing to note is if you have the last game at the ballpark of the night, you do not have to do this to the fields, as the fields will be dragged the next day. The last part of field maintenance, we need to address the mound. This is a typical situation after a game where you have the landing spot for the pitcher with a deep hole at it, as well as a deep hole by the rubber. All this surface should be level with the rubber. Similar to what we did in the batter's box, you want to remove all the loose material. As you can see, that's a good 2-inch hole at the landing spot of this pitcher. The new material will not adhere to loose existing material, so you need to get all the loose material out. Once you get the loose material out, lightly wet the area. Again, if you're doing this in between games, you want to be very careful not to put too much water, because the field will not be playable for the next game. Add your mix. Lightly rake it in to get it somewhat level. Again, to use the tamp, when you're tamping around the pitcher's rubber, make sure not to hit the rubber. once you're done, take the field rake. As you can see now, that hole is gone. One last step. Add some more water, lightly. Brush back in your loose material. Pitching rubber is now nice and firm. Landing spot is now nice and firm and ready for the next game. The next technique we're going to show you is striping the field. Once the batter's box has been repaired and you have a game after you, it is the team's responsibility to stripe the field for the next team. We do have templates available, but sometimes when all 4 fields are ending at the same time, it's very difficult to get your hands on them. What I want to show you now is the Baker method of striping a batter's box. Simply, once again, take your field rake. You start with the edge of the field rake from the corner of the base about 6 inches off. Make a mark. Line it up to where you left off, make another mark. Come over here, make a mark here, mark here, and again, you're connecting the dots here and here. Now that you have your outline in place, the striper, line up the center of the striper with the line you just made. And there you have a batter's box done the Baker method without the template.